master. How should you remember the spiritual master? You should remember Guru Varam, the spiritual master, as Mukunda Preshtatve, as being most dear to Sri Mukunda. So now, in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sri Bhajana Darshan, Bhajana Darpana, Digdarshani Vritti, now he mentions at the beginning of his purport, Purva Paksha. What is a Purva Paksha? A Purva Paksha, in any discussion, there may be a question that is put to the speaker, a question that is put to the speaker, or also a question that is put as an opposing idea or an objection to any assertion in any discussion. That's called a Purva Paksha. So, here, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling us that the advice that is given in verse number 1, which is what? To give up all pride. To give up all pride and to serve the eternally youthful divine couple. How? With single-minded devotion. Single-minded devotion. Now this may raise some doubts. The first doubt that it raises is the following. That if one completely gives up all pride and then takes exclusive shelter of devotion unto Sri Krishna, then how will one maintain and support oneself? Life cannot be maintained without performing nitya and naimitic karma. That means daily and occasional prescribed duties. Which consist of what? They consist of pious and impious activities that are called result-oriented, basically karma kanda. They want to get the results for their enjoyment. So, but here, there's an objection that if we give up everything and our pride and we serve Radha and Krishna fully and surrender, then how we will perform, how we will maintain our life without performing nitya and naimitic karma. So that's the first doubt. And the second doubt is that if one adopts this single-minded worship of Shri Radha Krishna Jugal, then how is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be regarded? So we have single-minded worship of Radha and Krishna, then what? How should we regard Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? That's the second. It is the second doubt. Now, if one performs bhajan of Sriman Mahaprabhu considering him as one's object of worship, then there will be two objects of worship, not one. And the devotion is therefore not ananya. It is not single-minded. And then there's also a third uncertainty. And that uncertainty is that in what devotional mood should one meditate upon the spiritual master? So these three doubts are reconciled in the explanation that follows. So now, as the first section, to answer these doubts, the first line of the shloka. Nadarmam, nadarmam, shrutigana, niruktam, kilakaru. Do not perform the religious and the irreligious activities that are mentioned in the Shrutis. Do not perform them. Dharma and adharma are described in the Shrutis. These are what? What are the Shrutis? The original 4 Vedas and also the Upanishads. They're called Shruti. Everything else is called Smriti. So, the original 4 Vedas and the Upanishads and the Smritis, such as the Puranas and the Itihasas, historical narrations, which follow the precepts of the Shrutis. So, this Dharma and Adharma, Dharma, Adharma, they're described there in the Shrutis. So, whatever activities are performed by humankind, it comes under these 2 categories of Dharma and Adharma. So, if they are completely prohibited, then it is not possible to live even for a moment. You get that? You understand this point? Do you understand this point, Paranga? You don't? That we're discussing Dharma and Adharma? And what does Dharma and Adharma mean? It means pious activities and impious activities. But this Dharma and Adharma is described all throughout the Vedas. So if we are prohibited from performing these activities, then practically it's not possible to live even for a moment. So therefore, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, he has not prohibited all activities of the sense organs. No, that he has not prohibited. There are 2 kinds of persons in this world. Who are they? Those who are Vigya. What does Vigya mean? They're very learned. They have knowledge. And the other type of person is called Agya. He's ignorant, has no knowledge. Vigya, Agya. Now the ignorant, they do not work unless they're disciplined. And if they do act independently, then it only results in inauspiciousness. Just like now. Just like now. What is going on in 2024 on this earth planet? The vast majority of the jivas are absolutely agya, ignorant. Whatever they do, whether it's political, social, economical, any category of their activities is performed in ignorance. So what does it result in? It results in suffering. Results in suffering. So the ignorant, they do not work unless they are disciplined. Okay? And if they do act independently, then it only results in inauspiciousness. That's all that the result will be. Always, always, always. Agya, persons who are ignorant, have no knowledge, whatever they do, whatever they advise you to do, it's totally inauspicious. Because they have no knowledge. What is the purpose of life? What is the goal of life? Who they are? What this world is? Who's the controller of this world? They have no knowledge at all. So therefore their activities will always result in inauspiciousness. So, therefore, all activities that are described in the Shrutis and also in their attendant literatures, the Smritis, all of these activities, They have been divided into dharma and adharma for the welfare of such persons, the agya, so that they may easily abstain from inauspicious activities and they can engage in auspicious ones. You got that? Understand this point? They're divided into these two by the Shrutis and the Smritis, so that the agya, the ignorant, foolish persons, they'll have direction. Don't do this, do this. Don't do this, do this. And therefore they can avoid the inauspicious activities, adharma, and they can go on the pathway of pious, auspicious activities, dharma. But now comes another category of persons. Those who are vigya. Those who are vigya, they're very learned. And those persons, they are very conscious of their spiritual identity. That's the symptom of the vigya persons. They're not on the bodily platform thinking I'm this stool, urine, pus, blood, bones, marrow, body. No. They're conscious of their spiritual identity. So the disciplinary injunctions of the scriptures, guess what? They're not meant for those kind of people. They're not meant for the vigya. They're meant for the agya. And so those learned persons, they have been ordained to act on the platform of what? Of the pure spiritual attachment that is intrinsic to the soul. It's called Atmarati or Krishnarati. Or in other words, they are told to render unalloyed service to the divine couple. That's what they should do. So those who are faithful, they're Shraddhavan, they're faithful. They are included in the category of learned persons. Those who have Shraddha, those who have faith. So the instruction of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami to abandon all dharma and all adharma mentioned in the Vedas, and to remain exclusively engaged in the loving service of Sri Radha Krishna Jugal, this instruction is for such learned, self-realized souls. So whatever activities must be carried out in the life of a sadhaka, it should be done in the mood of service to the Supreme Lord. Yes. And any activity, whatever activities must be carried out in the life of a sadhak, they should all be done in the mood of service to the Supreme Lord. And even the activities that are prescribed in the Vedas for those who are firmly established in the Varnashram stage of life, they should be performed in this mood also. Householder devotees should worship deities at home. And all activities like earning money, maintaining family members, protecting assets, building a house, and so on, they should be done as an offering to the deities. One should consider oneself simply as a servant of the Lord. So this is the main mindset. Right? Nothing but a servant of the Lord. And under no circumstances should one think oneself to be an enjoyer. No. Under no circumstances should one think oneself to be an enjoyer and then thus exploit the fruits of activity for one's own selfish enjoyment. No. Under no circumstance should one think I'm the enjoyer. Even if you're in household life, you have family, children, work, everything. But you're not the enjoyer. And if you start to think that you're the enjoyer, and then you can exploit the fruits of activity for your own selfish enjoyment, this is forbidden for the sadhak. So, religious rituals such as the offering of foodstuff to the forefathers, which is called what? The offering of foodstuffs to the forefathers is called what? The ceremony. Wrong. Say it again. The word. Shraddha. You're saying Shraddha. No. Shraddha. Shraddha.
Shraddha.
Yes. See, I just get tired of hearing the devotees say, we're going to do a Shraddha ceremony. We're going to go and we're going to have a feast and we're going to have a Shraddha ceremony. Shraddha, 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 Shraddha. But no one says it correctly. It is called S-H-R, long A, with a line over it, double D-H-A. Shraddha. Shraddha ceremony. Shraddha, not Shraddha. Okay, I've made my point. This is the first and only time that I've told this in class so emphatically. But I think it will stick now. I think it will stick. So, but if I hear it again, I'm going to say in a very loud voice, shh. So now, yes, where were we? Where is it? Oh, yeah. So, religious rituals, such as the offering of foodstuffs to the forefathers, Shraddha, prescribed in the book Sri Hari Bhakti Vilas. All of them should be also done in what mood? In the mood of service to the Lord. That's the mood. So, upon attaining eligibility, then one transcends his attachment to and his dependence upon the principles of Varnashram. So are we trying to practice Varnashram Dharma? Is that our objective? Is that our focus? That we're in the Varnashram system? We're trying to practice that? No, that's not our focus. Because we're not in the Varnashram system. What system are we in? Yes. We are in Daivi Varnashram. Daivi Varnashram is what's being explained right here in this paragraph. This is Daivi Varnashram. A lot of devotees don't understand this. And they think that Srila Prabhupada's establishment of Varnashram Dharma that he was talking about at the very last part, last few days of his divine presence, and saying that 50% of my mission has not yet been accomplished. Of course, Prabhupada did mention the Varna and the ashramas. But the actual, and Gurudev specified this, what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur established is not Varna Dharma. No. It's ashram Dharma. Ashram Dharma in the mood of what? In the mood of completely transcendental service to the divine couple in Mahaprabhu. That's what Daivi Varnashram Dharma is. And the spreading of Varnashram Dharma all over the world, Prabhupada intended for that to reach deep into normal, regular, mainstream society all over the world. And not that they would join temples. There's a lot of conversations with Prabhupada where he's really making this clear. That it will be rare in the future, those persons in human society who are living in temples, managing temples, and from that position, pushing the movement of Mahaprabhu. But he said that the mainstream, these activities would go into mainstream society more and more everywhere, in every single part of the world. And people would become Vaishnavas. They would embrace the path of Harinam Sankirtan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in their lives. And they would embrace the path of associating with Vaishnava sadhus in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The whole world will change and become super auspicious. That's going to happen. There's going to be a little rough spot here. I'm not going to talk about that rough spot, but it's right around the corner right now. And it'll go on for hundreds and thousands of years. So, yes. So, all religious rituals, such as offering of foodstuff to the forefathers prescribed in the book Hari Bhakti Vilas, they should also be done in the mood of service to the Lord. And then, upon attaining eligibility, what eligibility? Now you become eligible to completely transcend any attachment to and any dependence upon the principles of Varnashram. To transcend that. That's talked about quite a bit in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, at such a time, what time? When one attains this eligibility to transcend attachment and dependence upon principles of Varnashram, at such a time, then factual residence in Braja, and also unalloyed service to the divine couple, it becomes natural and it becomes very easy. Yes. So those who cannot physically live in Braj, they should do so mentally. Now, the second point being made in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's purport is Sachi Sunum Nandishvara Pati Su Tattve Smara. This means, remember and meditate on Sri Sachinandan as non-different from Sri Nandanandan. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining that in order to distribute the holy name and also to distribute the most radiant divine love that was never previously given, Anarpita Unnata Ujjvala Prem, to the living entities who are diverted from Krishna and entangled in worldly affairs, in order to distribute that, Sri Nandananda appeared in the form of Sri Sachinandan Gaur Hari. Nandanandan, Sachinandan. So in particular, he assumed the complexion and the sentiments of Srimati Radhika in order to taste the unparalleled sweetness of her loving sentiments. Yes. Why did Nandanandan Krishna appear in the form of Sachinandan Gaur Hari? Achyuta.
There are two reasons, external and internal. Internal, it is he wants to test sweetness of his love.
Yeah. No, this is not describing all three. This is only telling one. Why did he assume her complexion and her sentiments, Srimati Radhika's? In order to taste. In order to taste the unparalleled sweetness of her loving sentiments. Main reason. So, there are two questions that may arise in this connection. Two questions will come up. Since Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combined embodiment of Sri Sri Radha Krishna, then why not worship only him? By which the worship of the divine couple will automatically be accomplished, right? Because if Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna combined, Why not just worship Mahaprabhu? Then, or, what's another option? Or should one worship Sri Radha Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu separately? So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the spiritual master of the entire universe, he has settled these questions by doing what? By personally appearing in the mood of a devotee. He demonstrated by his own example how to perform devotion unto Lord Krishna, and he advised the jivas to do the same. So following his instructions, we should worship Sri Radha Krishna Jugal, because he instructed us to do that. But before rendering service unto the divine couple, one should first of all meditate upon the spiritual master and upon Sri Gauranga Dev, because otherwise one will not be able to attain the supreme spiritual perfection, Paramartha Siddhi. So in both of these circumstances, worshipping Gauranga Mahaprabhu as Radha and Krishna combined, and worshipping the divine couple Radha and Krishna and then Mahaprabhu separately, here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining that Mahaprabhu has appeared as a devotee especially to answer these questions. Because as a devotee, he is doing what? He is showing by his own example how to perform devotion unto Lord Krishna. So he's also advising the jivas to do the same, but he himself is doing it. So following his instructions, we should worship Sri Radha Krishna Jugal, because that's his instruction. But before attempting to render service unto the divine couple, one should first of all meditate upon the spiritual master and upon Sri Gauranga Dev. Otherwise, one will not be able to attain the supreme spiritual perfection, Paramartha Siddhi. So in answer to the second question, it may be noted that by worshipping Sri Sachinandana Gaurahari separately, then the worshipper is actually unable to understand how he is non-different from Sri Krishna by worshipping him separately. Then the worshipper cannot understand how he's actually non-different than Krishna. So when one is established in the consciousness of Sri Krishna being non-different from Sri Gaurahari, then one is able to remember Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu even while worshipping Sri Krishna. Yeah. So now comes the third statement from this verse, number 3. Guru Varam Mukunda Preshtatve Smara. The spiritual master is known as Mukunda Preshta, or one who is very dear to Sri Mukunda, who is the bestower of liberation, mukti, from material bondage. So, therefore, the Guru is called Mukunda Preshta. That's why we always love our pranam mantra. We used to say it in English in the early days. Who is very dear to Lord Krishna on this earth. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale. Bhutale means in this world. Krishna Preshtaya. So, the spiritual master is known as Mukunda Preshta, or the one who is very dear to Sri Mukunda, who is the bestower of liberation, mukti. Mukunda means mukti. He is giving mukti, liberation from material bondage. So the devotees should think as follows. Sri Krishna, who is an ocean of mercy, he has sent his very dear associate as my spiritual master in order to deliver me. That's how the devotee should think. So it is therefore fully appropriate to consider the spiritual master as an intimate servant of Srimati Radhika. So according to the statement of the scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam 11:17-27, Acharya Mam Vijaniyat, that the spiritual master is known as the embodiment or the Swarup of Bhagavan. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas and elsewhere, this has been explained to mean that the Guru is very dear to Bhagavan, or that he is equally worshipful as the Lord. But to reject Bhagavan and to worship only the spiritual master, thinking him to be God, is an offense. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quoting the Hari Bhakti Vilas verse, which is telling, Pratamam tu gurum pujya tataschaiva mamarchanam kurvan siddhim avapnoti hyanyata nishphalam bhavet. So, Pratamam tu gurum puja. This is spoken by Lord Krishna in the 4th canto, in the Hari Bhakti Vilas. He's quoting Lord Krishna. Pratamam tu gurum puja. A devotee who worships the spiritual master first. Pratamam means first. Gurum puja. He first of all does Guru puja, first of all. Tataschaiva mamarchanam. And then after that, he worships me. So that devotee who does that, worships spiritual master first, then worships me, he attains perfection. It is fruitless to worship me alone. It is fruitless. It is without fruits to worship me alone, Krishna is stating. No. You have to worship Krishna with his dearmost servitor, Sri Guru. Now, in direct opposition to this, if an evil-minded person, an arrogant, and a wretched man, if such a person disregards the spiritual master and worships only Bhagavan, he becomes a target for the Lord's wrath. You want to become a target for Krishna's anger, for his wrath? Do you want to become a target? Then be very careful. Don't try to give up the spiritual master and worship only Bhagavan. Otherwise, Bhagavan is going to rain down fires of wrath on you. And then, Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining that when a lotus flower is situated in water, you know, lotus flowers always grow in water. Have you seen that? Have you seen lotuses growing in the water? Are you sure it's a lotus, or is it a, what's that other flower? Lily, yeah, water lily. It is? Okay. Where is it? Ah. So, when a lotus flower is situated in the water, then the rays of the sun, they cause it to blossom, right? Isn't that true? It's in the water, and the rays of the sun, they cause that lotus flower to beautifully blossom. But the same sun, however, will wither, dry up a lotus that is not situated in water. So in this example, the spiritual master is compared to water. And the Supreme Lord is compared with the sun. So this is the purport of the following verse from the Jaya Dakyana Samhita. It says, Narayano pi vikritim yati Guru prachutasya durbudhe Kamalam jalada petam Shoshayati ravir na poshayati. So that's the verse from this Samhita, telling that if the lotus is not in the water, then the sun will dry it up. So we've completed Bhaktivinoda Thakur's purport to this second verse. We are going to continue later the Anuvritti of Srila Gurudev, which is his lecture, and that will be done on the next class on Thursday. Thursday is also, what is that on Thursday? Yes, Thursday is also Chiradahi Festival of Raghunath Das Goswami. So in that class on Thursday, we are going to talk about the Chiradahi Festival also. And we'll also continue with the Gurudev's lecture on the second verse. And just for your information, while I'm at it, on Saturday is the big day, not Sunday. So we're switching our class from Sunday to Saturday. And on Saturday are two disappearance days of two great eternal associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is Sri Mukunda Datta and Sri Sridhar Pandit. And that day is Purnima, the day that we will shave for the last time in 2 whole months. And it is also the Snana Yatra of Lord Jagannath on that day. Very happy day. If we were in Puri, we could directly see Lord Jagannath with our eyes on that day. I've never been there on that day. Been there on the... You have, and you can see. Did you go on from the down position, like on the earth, or you went up and looked from above? Yeah, it's above the wall, right? Above the wall. How long does it go on for? Really? A few hours. Wow. Wow. So we're going to read that pastime on that day. Definitely. So that's what we have in store for the next 2 class days. Lots of nectar. So we're finishing here. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Go. Any comments or any questions? Yes.
I think for most of people it would be difficult to give up karma, because for most of people giving up karma means starting adhar. It's like when they fall into karma because they're afraid of God.
Yeah.
If we let it be, they must live.
But that's what Raghunath, this is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur just explained. That most people cannot give up dharma and adharma because they're in the category of what? Agya. They're not vigya. They're not knowledgeable. So, yes, it's true. Most people cannot. But guess what? Those who have come to this pathway of Vaishnav Dharma in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are not most people. Do you think that the devotees all around this earth planet who have given up their materialistic sinful life and embraced the path of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are in the category of most people? Hell no. Definitely not. The Vaishnavas, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Even for someone to try to go towards the spiritual pathway in life, that's extremely rare out of thousands of people. Manushyanam sahasreshu. So what to speak of those who've come onto the Vaishnava pathway? So for the Vaishnavas, we are studying the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The regular people, they cannot study, they cannot know these teachings. They're too much attached to sinful and pious activities. But if they hear the holy names of Krishna, if they chant, if they take up chanting, if they come into the association of the Vaishnavas, their lives can be changed. And what does that indicate? It indicates that from previous lives, they had a lot of sukriti, that they're able to come in contact and they're able to be attracted to that in this life. Yes. Any other comments? Questions? Gauranga, should we do Dharma? Should we do Dharma? Should we do Adharma?
Depends what Krishna wants.
We just heard what he wants. Do you know the verse at the end of the Bhagavad Gita? Good, Maharaj. You know the verse at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, after Krishna spoke the whole Gita? What's the famous verse that he told Arjuna? Do you know any of that Sanskrit of that verse? What? No. Say the Sanskrit. Loudly. Sarva. No. Sarva Dharman. Parityajya. Yes. Aham. No. Aham tvam. Sarva papebhyo. Moksha ishyami. Ma shuchaha. Okay, I'm giving an instruction right now for those who are my students. This is an instruction. This is not a suggestion that you should do this. This is, you must do this. I want you all to have a notebook. A notebook. You write the shlokas in the notebook. Okay? One shloka for each page in the notebook. Or if you want, you can use index cards, whatever. But you should have a notebook. And you should write the shlokas that you have already memorized in that notebook. Then, after that, you should write the shlokas that you need to memorize in that notebook. And then you should also write the shlokas that you've partially memorized. Like you've partially memorized that shloka, but you cannot actually tell it. So you're not far away. If you now open up that notebook daily, just for 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and you read each one of the slokas aloud, and you read the translation. Within 1 month, within 2 months, you will be snap. If I say, do you know that shloka, Gauranga? You'll say, yes. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma shuchaha. And Gauranga, do you know the meaning of that shloka? Yes. Okay? So, this is my instruction, and I'm going to come and I'm going to check if you've started your shloka notebook, okay? And if you haven't, I'm going to do what? What am I going to do? I'm going to give you a slap. Are you ready for that? And that slap is what? This is mercy. This is mercy. Because if we only want our Guru to always be nicey with us, and always gentle, and not embarrassing us, and like this, then what did Srila Bharati Maharaj say? You lose out on 50% of the mercy of Sri Guru. Because the other 50% is what? What's the other 50%? Huh? Our endeavors. You're not listening to what I'm saying. The mercy of Guru comes in two parts. First part is what? Oh, Guru is always saying, how are you today? Very friendly, very nice. The second part is, you nonsense, you rascal, you bogus disciple, slap. Yes, chastisement, criticism. This is the other half. Did you know that? If a devotee cannot eagerly accept that chastisement, he's unfortunate. Because this chastisement of Guru is the other 50% of the mercy of Guru and the Guru Parampara. So, I was just reading how Pundarik Vidyanidhi was directly chastised because he thought wrongly about the clothing of Lord Jagannath, and Lord Jagannath, Baladev, the two of them came to him in their dream, and they slapped him very hard on his cheeks. His cheeks became red and puffy with welts. And then Swarup Damodar Goswami came the next day, and he told him what had happened. He showed him his cheeks, and they talked about it, and they laughed, and they said, yes, yes, such mercy, such mercy. Okay. Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Ekadasi Titi Ki Jai, Mahadvadashi Titi Ki Jai, Pandava Nirjal Ekadasi Ki Jai, Madhava Titi Ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Samadhata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Prema Anande, Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavasya Cha, Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namah, Vansha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All glory to the assembled devotees.